Hey all, Stephanie again with
Devonna.
you're listening to another installment of Melanetizen Night Night or whatever.
Yay!
Q City 127. The
Hey.
Melanetizen Night Night remix or whatever. Just imagine
That
if
means we have to make a remix.
Johnny slip
Yeah,
us that
so
remix if you have any spare time.
it's, I feel like that was slightly shady.
It wasn't.
I feel like that was
They're
shady.
getting ready for Japan. They better be getting ready for their U.S. World Tour, their Latin American leg of the tour, their European leg of the tour with WayV, Wave Check.
Yes.
Black people of K-pop fandom, if y'all don't set up a fan site or something called Wavy Check, I'm disowning all of y'all. I'm like officially done. But yeah,
um,
today
yeah.
we're just going to catch ourselves up to speed with the whole
Because we missed
year
all of 2018.
that we have. We experienced it along with y'all if you've been following us on Twitter. Myself at BlackNetizen, Davonna at DavonnaDarling. You've been seeing snippets of our thoughts as things have been developing. But we wanted to like do a proper thorough, not thorough, because if it was thorough, it would take probably all of 2019, but like a nice, good analysis of NCT 2018.
A recap, if you will.
Something like that.
Where do we start?
How about NCT 2018? How about setting us up for failure? Not failure. Setting us and citizens up for disappointment.
Wait. Was the light stick in 2017 or 2018?
I'm pretty sure it was 2018. I feel like it was 2018. I feel like it came out with Lucas. Don't ask me why, but that's what my spirit tells me.
um, okay, yeah, let's start with NCT 2018. So, here's what I remember. Stephanie was MIA, right? And so they're posting these like what was it? They posted that picture or like what was it, that little like short video of like a million people practicing, and I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. I said this is way too many niggas. This is this is not normal. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I remember like spamming her with it, and then I remember I called her and I told her about it. And she was like, what? And I was like, girl, it's going to be something big. And then it was what it was. And then that yearbook video came out, the NCT 2018 yearbook video.
Setting us
really
up
cute.
for disappointment.
It was really cute.
Like, SM like consistently shows us that they know what to do. They know the power that they have in their hands, and then they just stop.
It's like
They just stop.
you know those people, and I say that because I'm one of those people who like have all the great ideas, but they're not good at the execution.
I mean, that's literally both of us. But we're not running like a multi-million-dollar corporation.
With hundreds of employees.
Decades-long legacy to uphold. Let's take it there. The last bastion of like proper, solid, real deal Holyfield, unabashed, manufactured boy band music. We're just some K-pop fans who like talking smack and decided to like, hey, whatever, let's put it out there, man. My bills get more paid whenever I don't execute my really cool ideas. That does not happen for SM. So that's an issue.
Yeah, it is. But I think at the same time, and other people have said this too, it's like I don't think SM is really focused on like music or like idol groups anymore. Like they are, because like that's the basis and that's like the genesis of like the corporation. So like they do it just to do it. But I think, or like there's proof that SM has been like branching out into other things and they really want to get into like tech, and the revenue that they see from the music side of things helps fund all of that. Yeah. But I don't think they really are super invested into their idols, the teams behind the idols, all of that. So I think that's where the execution of things just lack, because there's just not that overwhelming of push that there used to be of like, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta be the first, we gotta be the best, we gotta, everything that we as like long-term K-pop fans know SM to be.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
But the thing that grinds my gears, shout out Peace of Mind on YouTube, is they show time and time again that they know what they know. They know what they can do. They know. And then they start doing it, and then they just stop. That's what gets, like, if you were just like, hey, we're just gonna put some shit out, and yeah, just give us some money or whatever. Okay, fine, whatever. But this whole thing of like, you know how this kind of feels like the boy band of the generation? Here's a teaser showing you this might very well be the boy band of this generation. And then you get super hype, and then you get super hype, and then the shit comes out, and it's black on black. Or the shit comes out, but it's only a music video, and then you have to wait 2 months for like this. You know for a fact, we are not out here streaming like that. So how are you
Yeah.
We are, first of all, your fandom is not well mobilized. I'm not sure about the Korean side, but like US stateside, unless it's a top-bottom discussion, US and citizens don't care. Like, we really don't care on the whole. And then your main superpower in this climate where no one cares about SM's lives, basically, that's basically the 4th gen K-pop climate. No one cares about SM lives. SM lives do not matter.
Right.
We still have the privilege of people knowing that SM lives exist, but on the whole, unless you're an SM stan, SM lives do not matter. So your main superpower with NCT is that their stuff is catchy, and like there are a lot of people who like casually kind of listen to them, especially in the international side of things. So you have like, anytime you're dropping something is a chance to like really gain more and more momentum. It might not like shoot you up into like top 3 or top 4 groups or whatever, but it's still momentum, and it's still building your following and solidifying your following, and maybe getting more like well mobilized fans into the more serious parts of your fandom. But no.
Yeah.
They just continue playing games, and like, why? I know why, but still, why?
Quit playing games with my
Quit playing games with my heart before you tear us apart. I should have known from the start. Before you got us up, you're tearing us apart.
But, okay, so in that same vein, so obviously we know that, like, US and citizens aren't out here like that. And to the same extent, Korean and citizens aren't out there like that either, because their streaming numbers or like their Mela numbers are not good. But what do you think would help out NCT in building that sort of dedicated, for lack of a better word, rabbit fan base that they need to see the worldwide, like, to live up to their...
Proselytizing. They need to go out and evangelize. Like, it took them until the end of 2018 for them to, like, set up a vlog channel, my nigga. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's the shape, the way... I think this is what SM's problem is, because they're like that old man that, like, doesn't want to change his ways. It's like those politicians, right? Nowadays, like right now, who like don't want to be on social media. But like social media is the way that the majority of the people who are going to be engaged in what you're trying to come across gets their information. It's the same way with like SM. They're that old guy, right? They built the process, like they built the whole idol process in Korea. Like they're literally the OGs, but they're like kind of stuck in their ways and they don't want to modernize. And it's like you see this is working for so many other people. Maybe if it's two groups now that you're really having an issue kind of blow up, maybe you need to get with the times.
I like to think of it as SM's an entity that's so big, and like we keep talking about like 20 plus year history of like producing the top idol acts, like every generation, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada, this legacy. I like to think of it as like all of that, they basically for them, like, not that I empathize with them, but they basically have to, if for them to remodel and restructure, they have to remodel and restructure essentially all of that.
Right.
So they have like this big behemoth theme that's been built over 20 years, and they have to like change gears on that when there's only one gear built into it to begin with. Whereas, am I really gonna say it?
Say it.
Okay, so a big hit, for example, they had a little roster or whatever, but like as far as like who was really active and who they were really investing in and who they were really like trying to get this bread with, it was mainly just one act. So for them to like change things up, you're basically just changing things up with one act.
Right, I get you.
So if you're like, if you need to adjust or you need to adapt, you literally just like, hey, you 7 niggas and your styling team, let's do this. Whereas for SM, like, even though they have
content,
to do that,
they have boa, they have, yeah, it's a lot.
Because like literally even process. In training, it's like from HOT to EXO, you need to know all of that shit. Because you need to know that like that's what you need to at the bare minimum maintain if you do get the opportunity to debut with us, bitch. So like you can't just be like, okay, yeah, whatever, go and like busk in this one place and like not be recognized by anyone. Like you can't do that as an SM idol, even though you can. SM,
Technically, you
in
can't.
SM's mind, you still can't, because, like, bitch, we're SM. So,
Big 3 privilege.
I mean...
Sorry.
I mean, it's definitely privilege. It's just... Stop trying to extrapolate, like, actual real life socio-political, like, frameworks onto freaking boy bands. Like,
Right.
it's really not that deep, but anyway. So yeah, SM just has that problem of, like, literally it's their 3rd year and we're just getting the first, like, concert. We started 2018 off with their first, like, showcase theme. Every single time I listen to anything off of Cherry Bomb, I'm just so confused as to how they did not have a worldwide fan meet tour.
Exactly.
It's like the weird, like, how did you release the mini album of the summer as a fucking boy group? Boy groups don't do that. Boy groups, no offense, especially NCT's generation, are boring as hell. They don't release summer bangers. Even if they do, it's not really a summer banger per se. It's just a banger that came out in the summer. NCT 127 not only established themselves as the album unit to NCT Dream's superior unit, they released arguably the K-pop mini of the summer as a boy group.
Summer 127 remains song of the summer.
Like, literally, it takes me back to summer 2017, even though I was taking, like, 3 classes and I wasn't doing anything even remotely summer adjacent. But, like...
Right.
Like, that's literally... It took me back to, like, probably, like, 1st or 2nd summer after I got into K-pop and, like, I just started driving. So I was, like, making, like, mixed CDs and putting all those, like, random, like, K-pop summer songs on them. Like, that was, like, how did they recorded, released, did all of that excellent styling we were talking about for summer 1, 2, for a mini album that included summer 127 in summer 2017, and they didn't do a fan meet tour. Like, why the fuck did you go to every single K-Con if you weren't gonna do a few stops by yourself? Like, what was Subculture? I'm calling you out by name. What happened? I know it's probably not Subculture's fault, but, like, girl, what?
It is.
Like, how did you release summer 127 in summer 2017 and not go? They could have gone on a fan meet tour just with that song alone.
What happened did they do anything in between summer 2017 and early 2018?
No, they literally did like 15,000 remixes of Cherry Bomb. And then they released Japanese version of Limitless.
So they literally had a good 6 months
of doing nothing, essentially.
Of doing nothing.
Cause, like, a whole lot of nothing, too. Cause I'm pretty sure, like, niggas was, like, spraining ankles and stuff cause, like, they were doing Cherry Bomb 15 times a day for 6 months.
Right.
But, like, no one cares. So, like, why didn't you just do that around the world and actually yield something from that effort?
But then, again, it goes back to, like, SM being SM and, like, there's certain things that, like,
we can't perform in anything less than a stadium, and it's like, bitch.
Please, it's 2018. Get with the times. 2017 even. Like, it's a whole different market. It's so different. Like, you have
it's a completely different
adjust.
Landscape.
It's so frustrating.
Keep that shit with EXO.
It's really frustrating because when you think about it, like, guys, like, really think about it. Okay, like, DBSK never toured never toured outside of Asia until, what was it, 2015, 2015, right before they went into the army. And they literally only went to, like, Los Angeles. Okay? That's your first mistake. Do you know how popular DBSK was?
They were literally one of the biggest boy bands in the world.
They had Guinness World Records for having the most fans in their fan club. They had a Guinness World Record for being the most photographed celebrities, and I think they still hold that world record. Like, it's crazy. Super Junior never had a world tour till, like,
half of the niggas wasn't in it. What?
SHINee went to South America in 2015 and then skipped over a whole North America and didn't come here until 2017. Girls' Generation never toured outside of Asia. And they barely toured within Asia.
Literally, it's so funny because, I guess we didn't realize how big K-pop was before it got as big as it is now. But, we're talking about arguably some of the biggest, acts of their kind during their time.
But we knew, though, because we were connected with everybody on Twitter. So, the Brazilian fans they're not shy. So, we knew how much we knew how much Brazil wanted everybody. They had never even had an SM Town Brazil. Are you kidding me? You know how much money?
But it wasn't even that? It's not we didn't. I'm not saying we didn't know how worldwide their fan base was. I'm just saying I don't think we understood the way. There's no question right now that BTS is the biggest boy band in the world.
Right.
I don't think we understand that at one point DBSK was basically the biggest boy band in the world simply because the biggest music markets either didn't make boy bands or their boy bands were exclusively for their country. The former being the US, the latter being Japan. So SM could have had it all. Let's count it.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Even BoA, had they had...
Did that bitch BoA's go outside of Los Angeles city limits?
She went to New York. That's it.
For that freaking movie premiere or something. I'm so confused. Oh my gosh, BoA flopped. I'm did the bitch actually promote? I want to know. Because I saw her on YouTube.
Didn't her album go number 1 on the... Or it was top 10 on the dance charts on Billboard when it came out. So...
I lived in the United States and I was ready.
They could have sent BoA to Europe. They could have sent BoA to Europe, man, with all those dance tracks. And literally, she had Max Martin produce songs. She would have killed in Germany. It's
what? What is that?
She's literally, as people, from the moment she debuted, because she literally debuted with pretty much Britney Spears. From that moment up until, she was always called the Asian Britney Spears. She literally had songs that were Britney songs given to her. Why did you not push her in Europe?
Britney was pushed in Europe.
Right.
NSYNC was pushed in Europe.
Right? That's Europe, Germany specifically, is the birthplace of US the bubblegum pop sound. That's where, the pop sound now is a little bit different because it's literally more hip-hop infused or whatever, but the bubblegum pop that popped off in the 90s and the early 2000s and the stuff that Korea is still pretty much making, Germany. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And that's why we are rioting and multiple events will be planned if we do not see WayV in Germany within the next 6 months.
Because they got a German nigga.
like a whole fucking German nigga.
Instead of a half of one.
We're so ridiculous. But like, he's a whole fucking Dusseldorf, or however you say it, nigga, and like, bitch, if you don't get your ass over to fucking Dusseldorf and Berlin and motherfucking wherever else in Germany, Frankfurt, the Rhineland or whatever.
They need to go at it hard. Literally study. Okay, there's a reason why we're saying this. If you guys don't know, go back and look at Backstreet Boys and NSYNC's like earliest documentaries.
You don't even look at their Wikipedia page, ho.
Or look at the Wikipedia page. But no, I feel like the documentaries are more impactful because literally, like, they were grinding. They were literally at a show in the morning, at a show in the evening. They were taking buses all around Europe. And
I mean, bitch, if you want to take it back, we can talk about the Beatles. Like, deadass. Like, if you are trying to get worldwide domination and you aren't including Germany in the plan, what are you doing?
Or Europe in general. Like, fucking look at One Direction. Like, it has to be, like, and that's kind of the issue that BTS is kind of seeing, because, like, everyone's like, well, why don't we, like, they weren't nominated for the Brits as, like, Best International Act or whatever, or, like, Best Group and stuff. It's like, they barely have a presence within, like, mainstream media in Europe. That's because you really have to go there and you have to work for it. Just like you have to come, when you come to North America, you have to come here and you have to work for it. I mean, just like
what they do in freaking Japan. I mean, are we gonna go
there?
Are we gonna go there? Oh my gosh, Japan gives them what they deserve. These niggas literally translate themselves into Japanese to promote in Japan. Like, as a K-pop fan, I almost want to go to Japan instead of Korea for K-pop concerts.
Absolutely.
Like, that's how hard they go for promotions in Japan. So, like, and then they come to the US and they're like, hey.
And then, like, nothing happens. And they're like, oh, we flopped. Never come back.
Bye. Like, and then you're asking, oh my gosh, why doesn't it?
It's just, and I know it's hard. It's not, okay, here's the thing, is that obviously, like, it's easier for a Korean entertainment company to gain connections in Japan, and it's easier for them to sign these record deals in Japan, which leads to having available funding for all of this stuff. I get it. It's a lot harder to do that here. You need the right connections, you need the right people, you need a PR team.
And even beyond that, just like the basic logistics of getting from Korea to Japan versus getting from Korea to Germany or the US.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time,
do you want it or not? Like,
right.
Like, girl, what are you...
Why was I just reminded of Debbie Allen and Fame?
I mean, what's our email again? Melanetizen, singular, @gmail.com. Hit us up, like...
Melanetizen consulting firm coming soon.
Keep playing if you think it's a game. 2019, we're making moves. Because 2020 is perfect vision. Realized. In the flesh. Live and living color.
Oh my gosh. But no, for real though, like, but it's like, specifically mentioning this is with NCTs, because NCT is marketed as a global brand.
The boy band.
It's weird.
Globalization,
they came out the gate saying, we are going to take over the world. We're taking over Korea.
By design.
We're taking over Japan. We're taking over Southeast Asia.
South America.
South America.
Even though Mark is still out here talking about some fucking tacos. But... out in Mexico singing Brazilian hits from freaking 5 years back.
Which is why I also will reiterate that I want Samuel to join NCT.
That would honestly, like, dude, imagine Samuel in freaking WayV lineup. Bitch,
Man,
he's already in China all the time anyway.
Yeah. SM just needs to scoop him up, buy him out of his contract. Just scoop him up. But treat him right. But, yeah, I just there's so much potential for NCT as just a brand that they're not, like, SM is not doing enough.
I mean, and I already knew this is, like, there was a high chance of this happening simply because, like, EXO could have been so much bigger.
Absolutely.
But, like, it makes sense because, like, they had very, like, strict defined limits. Korea, China. Okay, fair enough. How are you going to come out with Glocalization, the boy band? And you're doing the globalization and the localization all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a struggle. Are they too global or are they too local?
Okay, like, I will still never understand why the hell is NCT 127 the group that's debuting in Japan instead of doing a whole new group with Japanese niggas and Yuta as the leader.
I feel like they literally only have Yuta.
Then let's go find some Japanese niggas. Not like it's hard.
You know what would have been
What
lit?
I mean?
You know what would have gotten the girls going? If they basically made, like, an LDH. What's the name of that label with all the, like, black Japanese niggas in every single group?
Oh, yeah.
If they basically, like, made a group like that, but it was SM. So we had SM's first, like, black idol. Actually, basically, K-pop's first black idol debuted in a group properly.
Oh, man.
That would have shaken the table.
It really would have. Like, it's just, like, they really just need to... SM literally has all the resources it needs. It just needs the people to, like, think outside the box and, like...
Step. Just...
Literally... Fuck the CEO. Just start signing stuff your own, like, shit, I approve this. Alright, let's go. Like... What's his name? Kim Young Min? Fuck him.
Yes.
Fuck him. You can tell him I said it. But anyways. No, but seriously, like, the reason why I said it's not hard is because, okay, we literally had this year, or 2018, there's a whole Produce 48 where half of the trainees were Japanese trainees or even debuted members of Japanese groups like AKB48 or other groups, and they came over to Korea to participate in a survival show for a chance to debut in a temporary Korean / slightly Japanese idol group. If you have people doing that for the chance to be in a temporary group, what do you think people, like, Japanese guys are going to do to be in a permanent SM group where they don't even have to leave their home country?
This is kind of off topic, but it's not. Like, because I was just thinking about, like, Momo and them from Twice, because, like, I guess they're also, like, the most prominent, like, examples of Japanese
There's that,
idols.
but wait, no.
I remember Momo holding her freaking beast sign or whatever at one of those freaking, like, second How You Wave ass concerts in Japan, and she was like, bitch, I want to do that. And then I'm just thinking of some random Japanese niggas who was, like, 5-year-olds like me and saw fucking Tohoshinki. I was like, bitch, I want to do that. Like, do we understand how far back this fucking goes? Do we understand impact, influence, and legacy? SM. Get your head in the game.
Like Troy Bolton said. Like, I'm just... But here's the thing. So JYP is doing this localization thing too, right? They're debuting a Japanese girl group, an all-Japanese girl group, trained in Japan, but funded by JYP Entertainment. Technically, YG did the same thing with, what the hell is some niggas' names? Unique, where they were trained by a Chinese company, funded by YG. And I don't know what the hell they're doing now. I know one of them was in dramas and stuff, but still, they've gone on to be pretty successful in China. So, like, SM. What are you... Here's the thing. Here's what SM's problem is. They're fucking greedy as fuck. That's what it is. And they've racked up such a bad reputation for themselves in China by just trying to play everybody, especially how they treated Chris and Luhan and Tao and everybody. And no one really wants to work with them like that in China anymore, which is why they had to kind of outsource or partner with another group or go under a different name, and even to have WayV happen. But that's another story for another day. But
and
so the Empathy album.
Stop. I was about to take it too far.
So the Empathy album. Let's start with, what was it? Boss was the first thing released, right? I really liked Boss. I thought it was a great way to introduce Lucas and Jungwoo. I thought it was great. Great song, great choreography. I think it was the right combination of members.
Excellent. A little light on the WinWin, but what's new?
And then Baby Don't Stop.
Instant classic.
Instant. I still sing that to this day. Just the beat.
Like, not even, like, even before the song started, just if you watch the music video, which you kind of had to because they didn't release the song on streaming services, just the intro, and then you have Taeyong at the top and 10 at the bottom, and they're just like, are we really about to do it on these songs? Are we really about to fucking... Oh my fucking gosh. I guess, girl. I motherfucking guess.
Okay, but let's talk about... Okay, so, like, in one of the unreleased episodes that we recorded back in March of 2018, we talked about the girls.
I'm mad. 10 has perfect teeth for girls, in my Houston, Texas opinion.
I feel like there is an... there is an actual explanation as to why they didn't wear them again,
Taylor said that
I don't
hurt,
remember what it was.
But like, you brought
so,
them shits all the way from Korea to the UK.
But at the same time, nigga, you bleach your hair like every 3 days. Like, I'm sure that shit hurts, but you gotta do it.
I think they had, because people act like, I don't know if it's SM stands or who else, but people act like they just have no idea about anything going on in the world. I think they were like, are we really about to have these niggas in grills after having them in like dreadlocks and shit last year? Psych,
Good
take
point.
the grills out.
Good point.
I think that's what happened.
There was that one intern, Jamal, in the corner that was like, excuse me, I'm reviewing this footage. Y'all need to change this shit. Because every company needs to have an intern or an employee, black intern or employee. That
like
literally
I
sits there and just be
said,
like, nah.
I've been saying, SM, to have as many people that they have under them, period. But then to have as many... I mean, they have Super Junior, so I'll say it like that. So to have as many people that are like that they have, And to have one nigga gate, you know, part of the training is if I catch you
Wait.
breathing against this word in public or in any sort of recording, this 6'4" nigga will materialize and pop you in the face at least 3 good times. Minimum.
Yeah, that's actually.
So,
Wait,
like,
there's
that's
really just
why when they,
there's
like,
only
whenever
one?
they slip up, it's like,
Well, wait, no, wait. Here's why. Because they learned their lesson with the SHINHWA shit. Do you remember that
Yes.
SHINHWA song?
y'all niggas better know. And they changed it.
Yeah.
But then Shinhwa sings the original version.
And so does RM apparently, but that's neither here nor there.
That's old news. But, like... So, like,
There was
SM
really only
knows.
one?
So I'm pretty sure that was what was happening. They're like, ooh, grills. And then they're like, ooh, grills. Because they don't have that fucking exo cushioning to be playing games like that anymore.
Right,
So...
right. But no, so back in that last episode, so it was before, so it was right, I think it was right after Baby Don't Stop came out,
Yeah.
and we recorded it right after Baby Don't Stop
So
came
we
out.
still had
but
like a
before,
month
like,
left of NCT 2018 empathy, whatever shenanigans
yeah,
left.
it was like before Go and like anything else had came out. So I was like, my theory is like when they all come together, I bet you they're all gonna be wearing grills, and it didn't happen.
And I'm so
And
happy.
it's probably for good reason.
I'm literally so happy it didn't happen.
Let's see what was next. So Go was next.
Excellent.
That was interesting.
It was different. I'm happy it was like a one-off theme, kind of. That was part of like an experimental type, like,
Right.
not officially part of their discography thing.
Yeah. Those teasers were something else, man. I was scandalized.
That went there.
The
100%
grassy tees.
intense.
Whatever it takes.
I know I can make it through. Degrassi Korea tease. Fucking Skins Korea tease in that first one.
Right?
That was so uncomfortable to watch as a grown-ass person, because it was like, you don't have to call your mom, right? Like, because they looked
God.
like they were going to rob multiple establishments, drink, and consume other illicit substances, and someone was gonna end up pregnant.
It's literally like if you combine all of Taemin's music videos together in one.
Like, that was like, what?
It was a lot.
But it was excellent.
Yeah.
Because it was like giving you, I guess, kind of like Degrassi and giving you the real side of being a teen.
I
In
guess.
2018, even though they like flew to LA to do all of that.
My teenage experience was nothing like that.
Yeah, but
Them
it's
niggas
like,
was out all night. Jumping turnstiles at the train
remember
station.
in the music video, they're like in some random apartment with like one random bed, and the like fridge has like
A bottle of
lights, and it's
Gatorade.
just like 2 drinks in there. I'm like, that looks like a fucking, I'm not even gonna say it, but it looks like what it looks like, and I will be alerting the authorities.
But yeah, I liked how they like kind of did something different.
Yeah.
It just shows that like
kept
Dream
with
is
the theme
just
of
like
youth.
so talented that like literally they can do anything and everything. Like they're the future of K-pop.
But I will say I probably would not have liked Go as much as I do if it wasn't them at that moment.
Right.
Like, a lot of the success of Go for me was like who and when. Like the who and when of it, as opposed to just.
And it was when Renjun had just came back, right?
No, Jaemin.
Jaemin, my bad. Whatever.
What a little nigga.
He was gone for a while, man.
Basically a year. Like that was his first comeback since cherry gum. Chewing gum. We're recording at 2 a.m.
He wasn't.
So you know.
Oh yeah, he wasn't in my first and last.
Yeah. So it was literally like he like left during 6th grade and then came back during like 11th grade, season like 7. Like
season 7.
What?
After the rest of them had been through some things. Oh man, I actually spent a lot of last year rewatching Degrassi with my niece.
Yikes.
So a lot of it's fresh. But you know what? Degrassi is not as good if you binge watch it. It's really not. It was, I think part of what made it so good was like the anticipation between seasons and like seeing the little promos from the end. Like I still remember that promo where like it was the season where Paige and Manny got into a fight. And I still remember like the promos for that, but the episode wasn't until like later in the season. And I was like, oh shit, when are Manny and Paige gonna get into a fight? It was after Manny had called what's his face, Mr. Pedophile, because Paige was dating the teacher. Quality television, man. Okay, so after Go, what was it? Was it Black on Black then?
No, Touch.
It was Touch?
With no Omarion.
Dude.
But it slapped so hard.
I did like it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
But I have a theory. I feel like they did that for the black aunties. So a lot of people are confused, and I see a lot of non-black people of color saying it's for the Caucasians, and just know that's how we fucking know who's who. And that's that on that.
It literally reminded me of those Gap ads from my childhood. No, I did enjoy it. I thought the music video was so bland. Because everyone else got these big budget music videos. And then it's like y'all are in different colored boxes with some rope. Like,
literally.
There wasn't even puppies. It would have been better if there were some freaking puppies.
I enjoyed the experience. Because I guess.
Yeah, I mean. Imagine if it was an Omarion cover, though.
No offense. Don't ask me why I just said no offense. Because, like, what I'm about to say isn't offensive. I guess it could be offensive to some people's sensibilities. Because I understand my fave isn't, like, the most sangerous sanger of them all. He isn't even really a sanger. Let's be real. But I feel like Jaehyun would sound absolutely lovely covering Touch.
Absolutely. Don't wanna let it touch. Touch. Do you remember how old was I when that song came out? I think I was in like 9th grade. And I just remember that's all we would fucking do.
Dun, dun, dun.
Class.
Dun, 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 dun.
It was like literally like we'd be sitting at our desk in like rows or whatever, and then someone would just do a wave and pass it and be like touch, and then you just had to do it, and the teacher would be like, oh god, come on guys, stop. Good times. Just like when we were in elementary school and everyone did the grind and beat on the table. It's things like that, shared experiences.
Okay, this is really random, and I know, like, this is kind of breaking the flow of the conversation, but I really want... I should save this for later, but I feel like I'm not gonna remember it for later, so I'm just gonna say it now. I really want NCT in some shape or form to collab with like Rico Nasty or somebody. Even if they don't collab with Rico Nasty, I just want them to collab with Kenny Beats and Taeyong to go Kenny at the beginning of an NCT song. I just feel like that would work. Because like I feel like the one good thing that came out of NCT 2018, particularly for like the main subunit that is 127, was funny enough the like US quote unquote stuff.
Agreed. Well, yeah. But I'm trying to think. When did they record that song with what's his face?
I was about to call him Estevez. That's his name.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
Martine.
Yeah, when did they record that song? Because I feel like they recorded it that like earlier in the year.
Yeah, they recorded it whenever they went to Hollywood Bowl, whatever.
Oh yeah, okay. Which I didn't go to, even though literally I literally live right next door to the Hollywood Bowl. Literally, like, could walk there from my house and not break a sweat.
I remembered it because, actually I think I saw Martine on some episode of like TRL for the like 2 weeks that they actually attempted to have it be TRL for real without the countdown. Wonder why that flopped. Anyway, but yeah, I remember seeing him and I was like, that seems like an interesting act. But then, yeah, so, excuse me. So, like, I was already aware of him, generally speaking. So whenever I saw them taking, like, a picture with him or whatever, I was like, yes.
Yeah, and it was produced by Harvey Mason Jr.
And then I saw them
was, like,
with the producers. I don't remember
a production juggernaut.
Producers' names, but so
Harvey
I saw
Mason
them in the
Jr.
studio
and
with him and those producers, and then it really stuck in my memory because Azalea Banks liked the picture on Instagram.
Really?
Yes. And I was just
oh
like,
my god! Remember these niggas saw Drake's dad at the airport. That was 2018 too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
127's like major accomplishment.
Those pictures were funny, like when you see the pictures of them realizing who it is and like pointing to each other and then like going to ask for a picture.
I love seeing them being like genuinely happy.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Okay, so like Black on Black happened, but really we have to talk about the shining track that is from Empathy, and that is Neo Got My Back.
Culture Tings.
Tech
on my mind. Like,
so
still the hardest track on the whole thing, and it's only the intro. Like, do you know how much that hurts my feelings? Like,
I know.
You made a whole intro, Neo Got My Back, and then you fucking...
But remember back in the day where K-pop intro songs used to be like the best songs on the album? It reminds me of...
was it the GD and Top album?
Yeah.
I remember the intro, I was like, also, oh shit.
Also In Black had their intro song For Your Stereo. And that was like, I was like, oh crap, this album's about to be good. And then it wasn't. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't, you know. Or 4 Minutes, for Music, the 4 Music intro song was great. Man, those were the days. But, okay, so Cheryl, shout out Cheryl from the Drama Candy podcast, She ended up going to the Hollywood Bowl, and I met up with her for dinner that night. But she also hold on, Cheryl and Kathy, they went to Hollywood Bowl, and they made these like sweatshirts, or they decorated these sweatshirts that said Neo Culture Tech on them, and it looked like a college sweatshirt. And she made me a shirt, and I love it so much, and I was like, ooh, this is a good idea. And I wear it all the time. But those are really smart. But yeah, just wanted to say that. Shout out to Cheryl and Kathy and Terry in India. Yeah, Black on Black happened.
Unfortunately.
But okay, so it was very interesting to see all 18 of them together and do choreography together. The choreography was great.
Yeah. That song is I mean, cause like I got into NCT because of like what they did in 2017. So I'm like, okay. Before I was just trying to keep it strictly on a U basis, but obviously I've been missing out on some really solid stuff. So let me go back. I saw / heard Black on Black when they performed it at the 2016 Mamas, and I was like, glad that's not an actual track.
I think we all said that. I swear we all said that. We're like, what the fuck is this song?
Made it an actual motherfucking track. Are you serious?
It's like the reverse of like EXO's teasers. We heard the songs, we're like, we hope this is an actual track, and like it never made it into fruition.
Like, like, and then Black on Black, it's Kun's like kind of official first debut something or like that, you know, it's like we need to put in all our effort, let's stream, blah blah blah. So I really tried to like listen to the song, or whatever. I didn't really try to listen to the song, but I played it. And sometimes I would have to listen to it, and I was like, okay, whatever. I would kind of get into it at the very beginning, but then it would literally just get worse and worse. And then we get to Lucas's part, and it's just awful. And I'm like, this song is bad.
Didn't he say get your freak on?
Yes. And I thought he was saying no one else is black in here, so who's the special one? And I was like, this nigga really believes he's an entire light skin, and
boss nigga one, hey.
I'm not exactly sure if he's wrong. Lucas scares me. As someone who's
he scares a lot of people.
As like, I guess an elder.
Sorry, my phone keeps doing things. It's not my fault.
I don't know. I guess it's like someone who like kind of analyzes K-pop in a way. I'm not trying to make myself sound smart, but like just as someone who like sometimes thinks of the business or like management sides of things, Lucas just seems like a very scary person because he seems like a musically nigga that somehow got a record deal. And like
wasn't he actually though? Because I remember seeing videos of him from like 2014.
He's literally a musically nigga.
I remember seeing videos of 2014 dancing to God 7 and like lip syncing God 7 and
like they couldn't even get him before he became a musically nigga. Cause like I hope we all understand that Mark is in fact one of those goofy niggas on YouTube who's like 15 things guys like about girls.
Oh my god, absolutely. But then he's also like super Christian about it too.
Yeah, like so he's literally one of those niggas off YouTube. Like I don't know what they're called. Did they make Vines? I don't think they made Vines. But there's like that little cohort of like corny dudes that like
Yeah.
high school girls like for some reason. He's definitely one of those niggas, but SM just scooped him up before he had the opportunity to fully. Lucas was not so fortunate, so like he
But what
has
about
that
Johnny?
musically spirit in him, and like that just puts me on edge so much.
He's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be the one. I feel like he's the one who gets the most rules. Like, no, Lucas, you cannot go out tonight. Yes, today. Yes, today.
I liked that song.
I did not.
Ooh.
I did not at all. I just thought it was. It's such a like.
Blah song.
I feel like it's underwhelming. I feel like it has the potential to be something else, but it just never got there.
I mean, I took it for what it was.
I can't. I'm just like, really? You got Doyoung singing this hook, and that's all you're giving? Like, really? That's it? That's it? What we're not gonna do is play Doyoung like that ever. It was just blah to me. And then the rest of the album was tracks we had heard before.
And that's where my beef is. Like I said before, originality and like all of that stuff isn't a virtue to me in like idol pop music. So like it's how you sell it. Everything is about how you sell it. NCT did not sell empathy.
Not at all.
You had literal like.
Why was it named Empathy?
Because it's about like feelings and expressions and like connecting with other people.
Name that shit NCT 2018 and keep it pushing.
It's technology and connecting with other people and the touch and the boss nigga one.
Oh god.
I'm literally ending every single thing with boss nigga one. I like that.
Anyways, go on about the rest of the tracks.
So they just failed to sell it because they could have had us eating it up. But the rollout, first of all, this whole music video and then not releasing the single for streaming. What? Secondly, it's the first full-length album from NCT. Blah, blah, blah. 13 full-length tracks. Like, what they should have done. What they should have done is they should have said, this is basically your intro to NCT. You're gonna see all the, like, multiple faces, all of this stuff of the collective, the entity that is NCT as of 2018. You're gonna get some old tracks to bring you up to date, plus you're gonna get some new stuff to, like, take you into the future and get you hyped for the rest of 2018.
Everything NCT is about.
Huh?
And it's like they should have said it's literally everything NCT is about, where they've been,
they should have cut
where
it
they're
into
going
first half
in one album.
Is old songs. And
they could have connected to the whole dream thing. It's like past, present, future.
They should have. What they should have done is first half is the old songs, and then connect them some way somehow, because you have the general theme of reality versus dreams, which is actually a recurring theme in their fucking songs. So like, literally, like. Like, if you already did the heavy lifting, just finesse it. Like, girl.
Fake it till you make it.
Literally, like, okay, 7 cents kind of doesn't make sense, but then that works in your favor because you could say it's about like the disconnectedness and blah 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 blah. I guess if you wanted to spin that empathy shit, but like really, if it was just me, I would have been like NCT 2018 dream versus reality, but whatever. So you have that. You have dream within a dream, literally dream in a dream. You, like, girl, okay, so that's okay. So first off, I would have packaged it like that, and then the whole like theme would basically be like a roster and people discussing dreams, and just like, here is our collective as of 2018. And then the second half would have been all of those songs plus new heroes. Would have upped the budget on New Heroes music video. I would have pushed.
New Heroes was fantastic.
Yes. So I would have included that in empathy as like, okay, this is the future / continuation of Dream in a Dream. Like, that's still something that we're doing. And I would have upped the budget on the music video just a bit. Pushed that. Then what I really would have done, since the old tracks were already on streaming services as singles or whatever, I would have re-recorded and made the whole album an NCTU album. That way, for once and for all, everyone would have a tangible understanding of what NCTU is. So I would have gotten Haechan to feature more prominently in the NCT 2018 version of the 7th Sense. Mix it up.
Melanetizen consulting firm.
Like, literally. Okay,
Hire us.
NCT 2018 should have been an NCTU album. And then the old tracks should have been, like, jazzed up just a little bit, just to let you know, bitch, it's 2018, where NCT keep playing if you think it's a fucking game. But they didn't. I mean, let's all close our eyes and envision Haechan remix of the 7th Sense. Thank you.
Remember when I sent you that teaser? The first teaser.
Yeah.
And those were Haechan's vocals were in there, right?
Yeah. Like, I think they like keep a bit of his vocals for the backing in some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So like, if they had just re-recorded it with, was he 18 or 17/18-year-old Haechan? Showing you what he's really made of at only 17/18. Bitch.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't have promoted, like, what's it called? Baby Don't Stop as like a single. I still would have had them perform it a lot because it's fucking iconic, but I would have kept Boss for the end.
Can
or
we
the
talk
middle.
about poor Mark? How poor Mark literally promoted for like 6 weeks straight with like 3 different songs.
Like, I don't know. I guess I would have, because like, I feel like by the time Black on Black, like, even if Black on Black wasn't hot garbage, it still would have been hard to sell because like, there was NCT fatigue by the time we got there.
Right.
And every time they released something, like, it wasn't really available in a convenient format, so it was just like, whatever. So I'm not sure if I would have saved Boss for last, because that was a banger that deserved the hype and deserved all of the everything that it garnered.
Okay, but what if we started with... Okay, how about this? So, right? They shouldn't have promoted Baby Don't Stop as much as they did, right?
Yeah.
But to me, it was still the standout track on the album, right?
Yeah.
So what if that
So
was
they could
just
have
the
started with
promo
Baby
track?
Don't Stop and then
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
I mean, they should have had something with all 18 of them. It just should not have been Black on Black. Like, so I'm just trying. I'm like, so I guess maybe Baby Don't Stop and then Boss coinciding with like the album release. Like, Boss should have been the Empathy lead single.
Yeah.
And then
I really don't like how they
on the side.
Pretty much the lead single was Touch. Like, that was the promo single. Touch dropped when the album dropped, but it did the worst out of all the singles from the album. So there's that. But it's like they're really pushing 127, where it's like I feel like in that space it just wasn't good to promote 127 like that, because they have their own thing. So the focus should have been on NCTU and just a collection of members that just shined on this project, as well as all 18 of them.
I'm gonna say it again. Empathy should have been an NCTU album. You can technically still have a 127 lineup. You can technically still have a Dream lineup in NCTU, but it should be NCTU.
Yeah.
That way everyone, and that way I'm being really selfish here, but that way people can stop saying, I want an NCTU come back. I want an NCTU. I like it at NCTU, even though you only listen to Boss and the Seventh Sense, but like.
But what else is there, to be honest? Because I thought we don't talk about Without You.
I mean, but it would have been. I feel like it would have been much more engaging, even with old material, if it was NCTU and they're like, okay, so you thought you knew the Seventh Sense, listen to it featuring Haechan, Renjun, Mark, and whoever the fuck else, and then you thought you knew Without You, listen to it, but
what? I'm sorry, what did you say? I've never heard that song.
Stand you.
Also, okay, speaking of Without You, I love the Without You music video. Like, I freaking loved it.
Not
and I thought it was so I thought it was so progressive. I was like, they had like a girl in there, and they were holding hands with the girl. Then they were at this place with the girl, and they were at that place with the girl. And I was like, oh, SM's not giving any fucks. But then it was never to be seen or heard from again.
I mean, the song was. I mean, that was truly for the Caucasians. If we're assigning songs racist.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, let's move on. So after Empathy, we get a break. We get new heroes from 10, which is good because everyone loves 10, and you can never have too much of him.
Really?
Then was there was a pretty long break. So then it was We Go Up, which was like in late August.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But in the meantime, I guess they were all kind of doing some things. Like Lucas was on. Oh, Chain. Shit.
Reaction.
Yeah. But Lucas was on runways and on variety shows and stuff, so that was great. But Chain. Okay, let's talk about that, because I am still, and I will never, ever, ever be over them barely giving Yuta any lines in a fucking Japanese song. He didn't even get to shine at the front as a dancer. Are you kidding me? If I was Yuta, I would. It was in
They
his
did
own
it in
language.
Limitless, and it was like, okay, I guess since they're just translating the Korean single,
Right,
and then it was like, Chain, their first Japanese mini album, Japanese debut, Japan in Japanese, their Japanese member Yuta.
But here's the thing, okay, the first NCT member that we really saw a lot of
was
was
Yuta
Yuta. He was literally the
on
Japanese
Intelligent Summit or whatever.
Yeah.
Abnormal Summit.
And he did a great job.
Excellent.
He was so smart and he was so polite and he just did a great job. There was articles written about him all the time. He got shining, glowing reviews from the Korean public. And it's like, and
as a Japanese nigga from SM.
Some bullshit. I'm mad.
But Chain banged though. But something about it didn't hit quite right.
Because
as a whole product.
Because if Yuta got his chance to really do his thing, it would have.
I mean, I'm talking about the music video and the choreo, but
exactly. If Yuta would have got his chance to do his thing in the front as a dancer, it would have.
I mean, yeah.
That's my story,
definitely with the choreo, like he could have, but like it was really weird, cause it was kind of falling. It was like a microcosm of the like empathy issues of a bunch of really great parts, but like a not so great whole. Like the choreo. There's so many parts in the choreo. I was like, ooh, bitch, yes, yes, yes. But altogether, it didn't have that like cherry bomb or even Limitless impact.
But that's also how I feel about Regular.
I mean, Regular is that's a whole other. Woo!
That's a whole last 45 minutes.
But yeah, I guess that was the NCT's main problem, except for Dream, in 2018.
No, Chain banged. I don't like. I mean, it's not that I don't like the Korean version, but the Japanese version. I mean, I'm just super used to it now. But
of what?
Chain.
There's a Korean version of Chain?
Yes, there's a Korean version of Chain.
What?
Where have you been?
Having a job, but like. I get one.
Was it
part-time minimum wage job, and I don't know how to act.
I'm pretty sure it was released on the Simon Says album.
Bitch, I wasn't.
Or the Regulate album. But we're not gonna call it the Regulate album because
it doesn't deserve that title. It doesn't deserve that title. It doesn't deserve Transparent PVC Top Johnny. It doesn't deserve Jaehyun and Leather. It doesn't deserve.
We're gonna get there. It's just okay. So after Chain was We Go Up. God bless Mark. Jesus Christ. Give that boy a break. Okay, so We Go Up. We Go Up was the summer jam that we needed, even though it came at the end of summer, early fall.
She jumped with Tana, Talking step to low. Come on. Hey, hey.
I feel like we're doing the exact same thing.
Like,
I feel like we're doing the exact same dance.
The nail on the head with like basically turning, hey, come and show your auntie that little dance you be doing into a K-pop concept. Like, I love those kids.
I absolutely love it. Renjun killed that shit. He killed it.
Can we talk about Jaemin? Can we talk about every
Jisung, like they all just the future. They are the future.
And the future is now, bitch.
But what what I love about NCT Dream is that literally every time they release something, you can see the growth. So whether it's 6 months in between when they release something, or like in a year, like you see so much growth in them musically, vocal wise, choreography wise, physically. Like it's like they're literally.
They really give you that SHINee experience. Yep, I said it.
They're giving me, I can see them being like DBSK levels of just like vocals on point, like
excellent.
Like,
excellent.
Like, did he take a breath? No, I haven't heard him take a breath. Like that type of shit. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but I will say that my mom heard NCT Dream and she said, is this SHINee?
Oh, that's a compliment.
And my mom does not tolerate K-pop except for SHINee. So really she was just saying, this K-pop sounds nice.
It must be SHINee.
Basically.
I love them so much. So
literally,
much.
Like
and
my actual children.
Like, they branched out too. Like, Jisung was on that show where he came to like Los Angeles with Taemin and Hook
that was
and
adorable. One critique, because he also did like the high school dance competition show later on in the year.
Yeah.
Can we get him to take a break from poppin' for like 1 month? Can he do something? I don't want to be mean to a kid because he's literally just turned like 16 or something.
He's like the Yoonho of. He's
gonna
be doing that shit forever.
Else? I know you can. That's why I'm being kind of mean. But come up with something else, young man.
So what you're saying is he needs to take some freestyle classes where he feels more comfortable freestyling with a bunch of other types of dance that is just popping and locking.
Can you come up with something else? That's all I want. Like, I'm just, because, like, I remember I was keeping up with his performances on the show, and I was super excited, because, like, okay, it's a dance competition. It's not just you. It's not just, like, going to learn, like, it wasn't, like, a one-off-ish type theme, like the thing he did with the other, main dancers. It was like a competition. Like, okay, so we're really about to like put in that work, and he did, but it was all poppy, and I'm like, girl, young man. That's like my main wish for Jisung is to just expand his dancing vocabulary beyond popping.
And Jaemin was on the show too. That I saw clips of. I don't remember. But they've been doing things. But okay. Maybe this is best saved for later, but I'm gonna bring it up right now. So why okay, like, SM, what are you doing? Because, like, there's a whole Chenle and Renjun and his group, and they're not in a Chinese unit. And so I just want to know, like,
I guess they're waiting until
what the fuck are you doing? That doesn't make any damn sense.
Cause, like,
do you know how popular Chenle is?
It's kind of like, I feel like for, I guess the way SM's operating is like kind of like
they didn't wait till Mark graduated to put it in
the summer. Like, you're either in or you're out. I guess that's how China is set up with SM, is like you're either in or you're out.
That's some bullshit.
So, like, in order for them to stay in Dream, they can't really be in a Chinese unit.
That's some bull Shit. Or
It really is,
why
because
don't
like
they?
they're a whole Rella. I don't know what their name is together, but they're them. Like, are you dumb?
Do you know how popular these niggas are? Do you know how popular they were before SM?
Like,
Chenle was doing like fucking book signings and shit. Like, y'all ain't offering him nothing.
the generous king.
Seriously.
Ask Miss Ellen.
Y'all keep giving WinWin one line, okay? Keep giving him one line. He's gonna buy the damn company. I bet you. He's got enough money to do so. They keep fucking around. They should know that these Chinese motherfuckers ain't no one to mess with.
I mean, I know this is skipping ahead to 2019, and I haven't seen WayV's debut or whatever. But I'm just, how do you have so much Chinese excellence plus 10 in one group, and you just do like a rehashing of like mediocre Korean shit?
Okay, but here's the thing. I have a theory. Okay, so we're gonna skip forward to 2019, then we're coming back to 2018, right? So I have a theory. So my theory is that, okay, at the time that 127 was releasing Regular, right? Or was about to release Regular, SM dropped that little graphic. Yeah, and it was like NCT China, or a question mark actually, coming soon or some shit, right? So my theory is that all of this was supposed to drop at the same time. Now, I think SM had to push back WayV because at that time we had heard that the name was going to be, the V was still in there, so we had heard NCT Vision, which is like Weshin. I'm not sure how to. Yeah, so that was the tentative name, and then we saw pictures from a CF that like who the members were, or it looked like a CF, but they were actually oh shit, they were wearing the clothes that they're wearing in the music video. So my theory is it was supposed to happen then, and it was supposed to be like, you know, like with XOM, how it was like Mama dropped at the same time, and it was in Chinese and it was in English, or sorry, Mandarin, and it was in English. So in Korean, I mean. So like maybe it was supposed to be like they dropped in 127 drops the English version, right? Then like a week later they dropped the Korean version. At the same time the Korean version dropped, the Mandarin version was supposed to drop. That's my theory.
I mean, that would have worked, but like, where's the rest of the fucking album? Because you know it would have been lit. Like, that would be lit if they did the whole like simultaneous like single thing, but they had completely different albums.
But here's yeah.
That would be so lit. Like, it would be so interesting to be like, okay, this is this iteration of the same theme, and like you have a good feel for like different aspects of the collective,
right?
So you don't have to ask why are they in China and then why are they in Korea. Why don't they just release the stuff in Korea and then go to China? Why do you have 15 niggas? The 15 niggas make their like purpose known just by how they move, as opposed to why do we have this many versions of Regular? Why do we have this many versions of Comeback? So because Regular as a single honestly isn't that bad, but like it needs a really nice album to back it up.
Yeah,
I feel like for it to be like a single, like for you to appreciate it as the kind of single it is, you need to have a really solid album.
I'm super curious about, so this ties into like what we're going to talk about next week on the like the main show, the podcast, because I'm super curious about the A&R thing, because like EXO got their album got pushed back like 3 months. So like from August to November. But so the main guy who's doing a lot of the A&R scouting, or who's doing a lot of the not A&R scouting, but he's doing a lot of the Mars guy, right? The guy who talks shit all the time. So he's like the one gathering a lot of like songwriters and like holding these songwriting camps at SM headquarters for songs for NCT and EXO. Mostly, he's been for the past 2 years. He's mostly been in charge of EXO, but he also does a lot of songs for NCT. So I'm curious because EXO's album, which Stephanie hasn't heard yet, is full of like bangers, right? And I think there's like one ballad and like, or 1.5 ballad, I guess, right? And then
and Regular-Irregular
is full of slower type
lullabies.
So I wonder if there was a
Mix-up.
something, not mix up, but just kind of there was a cognitive decision to be like, okay, EXO needs these bangers, so we're gonna take them from you guys. Y'all be alright. You can show off, your vocals and shit.
Except you
Y'all
don't.
be alright.
But...
And we're gonna give EXO these bangers because they need them, because they've kind of been a bore lately, and it's been 1.5 years since they've released anything as a group. Because when I heard the EXO song, okay, when I heard Regular-Irregular, I thought there's a couple songs where I was like, this sounds like it would be perfect for like Chen and Baekhyun and Dio to sing. And then there's some songs on EXO's album where I was like, oh, this is actually like a good NCT song. So it's interesting. But speaking of that too. But as of lately, so here's the thing, as of lately, which is why I still think that I would truly think that a lot of these EXO songs were meant for NCT. So this Mars guy, so he made this post on Instagram how he was done with SM's A&R, and he's so glad his contract is up because they can't do shit right. But I guess he did an ending live or something. He didn't spell any T, unfortunately, but he did say he has like about 44 songs that he kind of curated for EXO and NCT, and he said 40 of those go to EXO and 4 of those go to NCT. What?
Fuck them old niggas, first off. And I'm a SHINee stan, so like, I get it. Excellence has no age limit, and EXO isn't even really old.
But my point is, the fact that they have that many songs left over for EXO kind of seems to me that they took songs that were supposed to be for NCT and gave them to EXO instead of giving them the EXO songs.
You need feed the children.
But and also Billboard did a great. I think it was Tomorrow. They did a great. They interviewed every songwriter and producer who did the tracks for EXO, for the Don't Mess Up My Tempo and the Love Shot albums, and some of them actually say, oh, we had NCT in mind while making this song, and then ended up going to EXO. So if you could find that, just Google Billboard EXO Love Shot producers or something, and you can find the whole interview. It's actually really, really fascinating, but there's some of those in there. But yeah.
Any exotics or XOLs, my bad.
Oh my god. Is it 2012?
Anyone who might be offended by what I just said, don't take it so personally. It's just... I mean, imagine if y'all had to sacrifice fucking Exodus so that SHINee could make Odd. Imagine.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
These are children we're talking about. Children who need vitamins, minerals, protein to grow.
I can't with you. Again, but it goes back into our earlier point about how SM is getting kind of lazy. Like, there's no reason why NCT should not have their own, like, task force of writers and producers, like, that are just going at it. And, like...
It literally makes no sense.
But it goes back to her earlier point about SM just not really giving a fuck.
Which is, so, like, it's so annoying, because, like, they, like, finally turned me into a freaking SM roster stan. Because my human geography nerd self is just, like, absolutely enthralled by the NCT concept. And then I like the NCT music as it's supposed to be. And then I also love the talent in the NCT roster. So it's just like, how are you going to do all of that? And then just stop. Like, what?
Okay, one thing we forgot to talk about was the We Go Up mini album in general, because that one song that Mark wrote thinking he was trying to be slick.
He's still grounded. You heard it here first.
I was like, those lyrics came across my timeline courtesy of Lex, and I was like, no. We don't do this. Not in my
Not
Christian
in this
house.
Christian household.
I was so upset. And then you have Haechan in the making of being like, we usually don't sing these types of songs. I can't. I really can't.
It's so weird standing like a young group.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to being young. I guess. So it's just like really weird. Like, I don't know what I'm like. I literally just don't know what I'm supposed to do when they have those moments. Because like I get that it's a normal part of growing up, but it's just like, if you don't get your little ass over there.
I know. I don't want to like. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to see that. Keep that to yourself. Interesting. Bazzi helped write We Go Up, or helped produce We Go Up.
And it was so funny because like I'm not sure if I said it in a live or something, but because I think Doyoung did a cover of mine. I'm not sure if it was before that or like after.
Precious,
but I was just thinking about like Bazzi. For some reason, I was thinking of Bazzi right before We Go Up came out and like right before they announced it. So I didn't even know that he was going to be involved with any sort of NCT anything. And I would remember listening to the song and being like, I would probably like this song way more if it was in Korean, simply because I wouldn't have to listen to the cringiness of the lyrics.
You so precious when you smile. I can't believe he did that. And then he proceeded to say, hit it from the back end. I was like, why didn't y'all tell them? John,
I mean,
this
but
is
then
your
again,
fault.
we also sing Mome word for word. So, like, can we really judge? Like, that's the theme. Like, we sing Mome word for word, and we, like, know what J Park is saying. But, like, we don't actually hear how it's being said as it's being said.
Right.
We just know the message, but we don't, because like Bazzi's Mine is a really like I like that song a lot, but it makes me cringe so much because the lyrics are
Yeah.
so ugh. And it's hard to explain because like because I was thinking like how would I explain this to someone whose native language wasn't English or they weren't like an American native speaker, so like they wouldn't get why it's so cringy even though they would understand what he was saying. And then he did a song with NCT Dream, and my theory was proven correct.
And then he did a lot of EXO's album. He did a lot of it. A lot of it.
That's a nice cash flow.
Actually, not a lot. He did like two or three songs, but like
That's still some good cash
I need
flow.
to. I really need to know like if any of these EXO songs were meant for NCT, because like literally like I don't know. I feel like if you're a fan, or especially like when like early 2000s or like late 2000s, early 20 teens R&B, I feel like it's like these exact same songwriters. So you have people like you mentioned earlier, Harvey Mason Jr. or Patrick JQ, who like wrote some of like as a boy band stan or someone who was a boy band stan then, like those names are super familiar because they wrote the same songs for like groups like NLT or V Factory or Varsity Band Club. And so that was back in the day where like you had to download songs illegally because like those albums never came out, so like everything got leaked. So you just had to download it, and so it had like produced by blah 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 right in the YouTube title. So my old manager, I think I've mentioned this before, my old manager at my old job in Texas, who I'm still friends with, she went to college and dated this guy who ends up being a producer under Harvey Mason Jr. And he's worked on like a bunch of EXO songs. He worked on a lot of songs from the Overdose mini album, and he's all over these EXO and NCT songs, and like they broke up probably like 2015, and actually she's getting married this weekend to this other guy. But I just wish I would have had her stay in contact. He's the one that's how I got the demo for SNSD Mr. Mister, the original version, because I got her to get him to send it to her, and then she sent it to me. So thanks, Brittany. But he didn't want to send her anything else because he's like, everything's so hush hush, and if they find out, then they're gonna be really mad at me. So, but his name is Mike Daly. He's done a lot of stuff. But anyways, I just really wish I still had the connect. Okay, so do we want to go more into regular?
Absolutely.
Oh God.
We're gutting that hoe raw.
Ew. Okay. Guess. Where do we start?
Disappointment.
Besides that, because we mentioned that on the main podcast, like.
Okay, so
to be honest, I feel like I've only listened to the album all the way through like twice because I can't do it.
I've done it a lot.
I can't.
It's cute, but why is the regular part like 5 times more interesting than
the irregular part?
Like, first of all, great concept. I like the general concept. The general execution. I mean, what they did with the single was cute. Like, I like what they did with the single. The single was solid.
And now we in the zone. Stand too close, might get you go.
Janet, hey. Okay, But like the single was cute, and there were some, and again, it was that same empathy problem of pretty solid parts, incredibly lackluster, underwhelming whole. Like, like it was just like I said, 2017 established NCT Dream as the superior unit and NCT 127 as the album unit. So as the album unit coming out with your first full-length album, you're being held to a different standard, cuz prior to this, you've never been regular. So like when you say regular irregular, I'm expecting excellence. I was expecting excellence anyway, but I'm expecting excellence in cohesiveness, in vision, in I don't even know, just fulfilling your purpose in this current landscape. And did you do that? A little bit, but not really. Because, like, the single, first off... Okay, we're trying to be concise, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna skip ahead to the Apple Music Niggas of the Month mini theme. I don't know what that shit is called. If you can't tell, I use Apple Music for Black people. That's what it shows up as. It literally says Apple Music Niggas of the Month. But okay, but yeah, so for that literally was what actually, like, that's what made me feel like, okay, they've released their first full-length album. Because it gave me that NCT 127 feeling of what am I listening to and why do I like it? Because to me, that's the fun of NCT 127. Because like I said before, they kind of specialize and excel at WTF pop. So that's the kind of thing where a bunch of stuff is happening and you really don't understand it, and it doesn't seem like it should work, but it does, and that's kind of what pulls you in. So it makes you really appreciate whatever they're doing, because it's a bit uncomfortable, but it also feels really good. So it's a very engaging experience. The single on the actual album did not have that at all. It very much felt like, I like it, the K-pop song. So yeah, so I personally preferred the Doom Dada Wada Wada DJ Huda 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 remix.
I can't with you.
On the Apple Music Niggas of the Month.
I can't. I'm so done.
Extended play.
I'm so done.
I personally, like, that to me is what I expected whenever they said NCT 127 is gonna come out with a Latin trap track. Cause like, I was even confused as to why they were calling it Latin trap. Cause like, whenever I think of Latin trap, as someone who listens to music in like 2017, 2018, I think of Bad Bunny. So like, there isn't really anything Latin about it aside from the person making the music and the fact that they're like rapping in Spanish. So it's like, okay, but you're not rapping in Spanish, so like, how is it Latin trap? It's like, oh, it's a basic like Latin based pop song from 2018. How original. But like I said before, originality is not a virtue, so I don't care about it not being original, but I need it to be true and authentic to you. And when we say authentic, in like idol space, we're not talking about, oh my gosh, I wrote this on the back of a camel as I was making my way into the Mojave Desert. Like, I'm not talking about that kind of...
Okay, wait, let me interrupt you real quick, because this is go back to what you said before, but like, I love how like SM was like, in their like press release was like, it includes like Spanish lyrics, and literally the only words those niggas said in Spanish was queso, dinero, yo quiero. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. All right, go ahead. I'm
Like, did
sorry.
Johnny write the lyrics? Okay, but anyway, moving on. But when we talk about authenticity, I mean authentic to their brand. Like, even though I don't believe, like, yeah, these niggas are out here making bombs and shit, and like doing all this paramilitary activity. Like, I'm not saying I'm not. That's not the kind of authenticity I'm talking about. I mean, like, it makes sense in the greater story of their work as a whole. Like, it just fits and it builds upon what we've been putting out for however long now. To me, the regular, as it was on the Regular-Irregular album, did not. The remix did, because it had that element of. It had that sort of like unhinged element. It had the hip hop, but then not exactly as you're used to hearing it, if that makes sense. Like, it
Yeah.
still sounded like I Like It, but it sounded like NCT 127's version, as opposed to just I Like It performed by NCT 127, in my opinion. Oh, okay. One positive note. Let's be positive. The collab with Martine. I already knew
Fantastic.
I already knew it was gonna be history. I already knew it was history in the making as soon as I saw that picture, because I already like was vaguely aware of Martine. So I was like, he looks like he does some stuff. You have some
I
really
can't.
like. I did not mean that way. I meant like he looks like he does some like good music.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
No, he
if we
looks
go based off,
14. He's 17, but he looks
is he?
14.
Oh wow. I was like, based off like the lyrics of the song is what made me mad. I was like, what are we talking about? What are we really talking about?
But like, and that goes back. Okay, I guess what really like I said, the Apple Music Artist of the Month EP is what made me feel like they actually released their full length, their first full length album, because it had that like, it filled those like voids that NCT 127 has been filling, and like kind of shows signs of filling as well.
Mm-hmm.
So even with a really basic, what's it called, Baby Shark, the R&B remix sounding track, like, what we talking about?
Oh gosh.
Okay, but which other boy bands with the kind of machinery slash resources behind them is putting out that kind of music in 2018? Quickly.
Facts. Facts. You're right. You're right.
Like, who? Yes, it's not super original sounding, but in that format, there aren't really that many boy
But you
bands.
said Baby Shark, the R&B remix.
I mean, like, yes, it sounds like a Jay Park song. Yes, it sounds like any of these random like R&B niggas, but those aren't boy bands. And boy bands are a very different format from that. And yes, there are groups like Next Town Down and Fourth Avenue who are singing and singing and singing their heads off, but they don't have the kind of backing that gives you that full boy band experience like in NCT
Right.
127. And also, groups like that often tend to have to be in more of an indie space, and tend to have more of an indie ethic to them, and tend to struggle with creative direction and themes that groups like NCT 127 don't, because that's kind of, if you don't know what you want to do, we do. Essentially, that's kind of how it is for groups like NCT 127. So, yeah, what we talking about, that's something that we aren't getting in the 2018 boy band slash pop music landscape. Because even the like really big acts aren't into making like sappy, corny R&B pop. Because if you're so consumed with being like a real artist and really expressing yourself, more likely than not, you're not going to make music like that.
I
For
get
the
you.
most part. And that the general trend amongst this generation of K-pop idol groups, especially boy groups, is being artistic and authentic to yourself as an individual and like expressing yourself and being real. And like I said before, one downside to that is kind of being boring to a certain extent for a certain demographic. That demographic being me. Of course, it's not boring to a lot of people because those are the biggest groups out right now. But that does create a void, and NCT does an excellent job of filling that. So that's why it's so disappointing for them to not follow through.
I think they're gonna get it together though. I think
They need to.
I think they will. Because I think you can tell that what was on the Regular-Irregular album wasn't what... It doesn't match what the members... I think they would have had their doubts and would have been like, okay, I know you're giving us this song, but like, we ain't trying to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we really want to do. So I think as we go into 2019 and it's their third year, their third year as a group, and SM has previously trusted them with like writing their own lyrics and things like that, maybe they'll get some more input in the type of direction they want to go in, because I feel like all of them are more R&B, hip-hop, not lullaby ballad.
I mean,
boring.
even we're not opposed to some ballads.
No, I'm not opposed to ballad
We're
at
not
all.
opposed to slow songs. We're not opposed to
But
singing.
if it was something
but
like,
it was literally
oh my God,
80% vocals, and we fell asleep the whole time with Taeil. With Moon, like let's stop there. You had a vocal album that included Taeil, and I was bored. How?
right?
How? Quickly! I'm like, it was so boring, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, Mark and Taeyong are like cool rappers or whatever, but like I want to hear the vocals. We want to hear the vocals, and then like we got vocals, and it's just
Okay, but imagine if it was like if they did a ballad like EXO's "What If" from the Exodus album.
I don't want to hear EXO shit. I want to hear NCT 127.
Yes, but I said like similar. It's an R&B ballad.
I don't want to hear it. I mean, that probably would be lit, but I don't want. Like, I want I want the Moon Man to let these hoes know he's not fucking playing around, bitch.
Oh God.
No, Taeil isn't the only vocalist in NCT 127, but like we don't appreciate him enough. We don't.
He's my bias. I said that from day one.
We do not appreciate him enough. How do you sing a Stevie Wonder song? And I'm actually like, was I impressed? I was almost impressed. Like, cause like at that point, it's not even actually about like your technique as a singer. It's just about your voice and like your like. I don't even know how to explain it. But if you can sing the way he sings, you deserve the world. And we're just not. We're not doing right by them.
It's okay though, because I really think I really think it's gonna come together in 2019. Like, I have all
another
faith.
positive note. I absolutely loved. What's it called? My Van.
You did?
Yeah.
I just thought, I have my notes here on my computer that I literally wrote my first album. I still have it in my sticky notes here. And here is it. My Van, what the actual fuck?
That's what I mean! That is NCT!
But no, okay, here's my notes. City 127 seems like it was written for EXO. Melody, harmony, and range-wise. Regular, okay. Replay, question mark. Knock on, banger. Run back to you. What the actual fuck? The fuck is the chorus?
Okay, so I guess if we go track by track.
I said all I needed to say. I said what I said. I still stand by all that.
Perfectly valid. My opinion. So, like, that's why I'm so conflicted about it, because, like, it has so many good parts, but, like, altogether, it doesn't really do what it needs to do. But it almost did, so it's just like, girl, come on. Okay, so City 127, excellent. Absolutely excellent. I loved it. Because, like, even before reading the lyrics, it gives me, like, waking up. Like, to me, like, calling it City 127 and then the way it sounds, it gives me a sense of place, which is really important in glocalization. I haven't really read the lyrics, though, so I know it's vaguely about, like, talking to a girlfriend or something like that. I don't know. But just listening to it as the intro to the album, it gives me, like, young hustling, bustling, getting up in the morning in the city, getting your day off to, like, a pretty good start. It gives me that sort of movie feeling. Kind of like in the Lizzie McGuire movie, when she's getting up and she's dancing to I'm Walking on Sunshine. Like, this sounds like that, but for, like, some, like, young 20-something dude in Seoul City. Like, it gives me a sense of place, and it gives me a story. Not specifically, but, like, it gives me something. I absolutely loved it. Regular Korean version, English version outsold. Replay PM 127. Barely made the cut to
question mark,
be the namesake. Barely made the mark to be the namesake of the replay by the SHINee. But
or to be the answer to 127 AM.
It absolutely that was blasphemy for them to call it 127 PM. That was blasphemy. Absolutely disrespectful. Does not deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence as Back to You. But replay, cute. I wish they would have that little bit. This was my beef with the whole album. That little bit of singing / improvisation that Taeil did at, like, the very end, that should have been the whole song, but, like, times 10. Like, if you're gonna do house, you have vocalists to give us some proper house. Because that's what separates the classics from all of this BS that just pops up on the radio every now and again.
Agreed.
Didn't quite get there, but I appreciated it. It was a fun time. Knock On, excellent. Arguably a sleeper, but it's a banger of a sleeper.
A banger.
Like, it's so subtle, and it's not overpowering, like I guess we're used to hearing from SM vocalists, but it's so, like, well layered and lush and just ooh. I loved it. And I feel like the vocalists kind of got to show themselves as vocalists, even if they weren't screaming or anything. No Longer, I feel like, was the same thing, but, like, not a banger. So, really, they should have just picked one, and I think the obvious one that they should have picked was Not Gone. But interlude regular to irregular, excellent. Continuing the story. My man, excellent!
I can't.
Excellent! Whatever the rest of NCT fandom hears whenever they hear Mad City is what the fuck I heard when I heard My Van. My favorite rap track from NCT 127 to date. Like I said, it gives us that authenticity. They're talking about what they know about, as Taemin would say. And it's very interesting. And what I really, 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 really liked about My Van was Taeyong, like, maintained his, like, weird, I guess, rap persona, or I'm not sure what you would call it, but like, you know how everyone sounds different when they speak and when they rap?
Mm-hmm.
I'll call that like persona. That's what I mean when I say persona, like, because like rapping is can be very similar to talking, so, but it isn't talking.
Right.
So that's what I mean when I say persona. So like, he's known for like kind of deepening his voice and making it really gravelly and weird. So I was super impressed by the fact that he wasn't really like deepening his voice and doing the usual theme, but he was still maintaining the essence of his rap persona. And
Yeah,
it really reminded me of Danny Brown, but it was still trash.
Absolutely.
Okay, I loved it because like it reminded me of Danny Brown a lot, which is weird. Like I guess the thing I really liked about My Van is like it took me on a journey with them, and it kind of put me in the experience of like getting up at booty o'clock in the morning and then coming back at booty o'clock at night. And, like,
is that what the lyrics are about?
I mean, I guess so. Basically. I read some of the lyrics.
I didn't read any of the lyrics for anything. I didn't even.
I mean, but like the whole keep driving. Like, I didn't even need to like read the lyrics to kind of have a good feel for this song, because I guess I personally relate to that as someone who does like do 12-hour shifts, and I do get up at booty o'clock in the morning, and then I have to study, and then I have to come back at like booty o'clock at night, and then I have to get back up for like 4 a.m. so I can get some studying in before I start going back to work again, and like all of that. And it kind of like it sounds like what that feels like.
Mark, you did not have to go to school. You could have just dropped out. You would have been okay. Because Mark wrote the lyrics, didn't he? I feel like he did.
It isn't about that. It's about like, I guess it's sort of like idol lifestyle type of theme. So like that's why I really appreciated them kind of like they made that into a song essentially.
Right.
And that like, you know how you get to that point of sleep deprivation where themes just kind of go on and they just drone. And like the whole keep driving, that's literally me like half of my work week, because I do have to jog booty distances. When did booty become a measurement?
You said it like 5 times and that's like 2 minutes.
But like, I guess it's something I really personally connect to, but it doesn't feel but it also doesn't feel forced, because it's obviously their own experience that you can't really deny them. So like, I really appreciate that track. And I appreciate like is there switch up in flows? I feel like it was like they haven't really rapped like that. So I was happy to hear something new, but then also something that kind of gave us a glimpse into them. And that was the one where they were talking about, you think you know what it's like to be an SM idol, but you wouldn't survive a day, blah, 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 blah. So then Come Back, sounds way better in Korean to me for some reason, but I'm not sure why it's on this album. Fly Away With Me was absolutely tainted by that whole fake plagiarism, whatever that was on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I was already like, okay, so you need to wow me for us to have gone through that whole thing, and they didn't. Fly Away With Me sounded like it should be on Haechan's solo debut mini album. Because Haechan was really the only one who sold it to me.
Yeah.
And it's very Disney. I mean, it's literally from Disney Channel Records. If you don't know, Hollywood Records is like Disney Channel's label. So it's literally a Disney Channel song.
Yeah.
So like, Haechan was the only one who sold it. Regular English version. Duh. Run Back to You sounded like, it just sounded like hashtag NCT 127, the first mini album. Cause I'm pretty sure it. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't make it onto that first mini album, but they decided to put it on this one.
Yeah.
I guess cause Johnny, but like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down, so. Anyway, like, I get the sentiment of it, cause oh my gosh, bass bot and like blah 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 blah, but like, they should have redone it in my opinion, cause it's something that like it would have been cool on their debut mini album, but like now on your first full length album 2 years into the game, as the album unit.
It's it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't. It's just
and it's really choppy, and then like the part that I like of it, I wish they would have like built a slug off of that. And I also find it very disrespectful and blasphemous for them not to just allude to the seminal work that is Back to You, but also to the masterpiece that was Running to You. What's that? Off the Cherry Bomb album.
Running to You, yes.
Yeah. That was an excellent track. I don't find it funny that you would disrespect 2 tracks.
The disrespect.
With this one. Unacceptable.
It's so rude. I just feel the whole thing was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. I just feel like, because we're 2 years in, at this point, 2.5 years in, and it's just like,
what are we doing?
Where's the direction? It's not the members' fault. It's really not their fault at all. Like, they didn't do anything. But it's like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What is the direction? Like, why does it feel like a regression? Like, I don't...
It doesn't even feel like a regression. It deadass feel like... How are we doing? Like, you haven't... Like I said, they've never been regular. And then suddenly they decide they're gonna be regular hoes, and it's like, bitch... That's not your brand. It's not the brand, so like, what does this even mean?
I'm just...
I mean, and then that takes... I think there was another added layer of just... for us as US citizens. Because SM took it upon themselves to like... create as much hype as possible, and it's like, so yeah, it was super stressful, at least for me, because I do want NCT to win, I do want 127 to win, but then SM just made it super stressful with like, US promotions, English version, first K-pop group to perform for Mickey Mouse! Girl, Mickey's only turning 90 once. Of course no other K-pop performed for Mickey Mouse. The fuck? And then, like, invited to the AMA red carpet. What the fuck does that even mean? And then, like, all of this stuff, and it's like, you know, that means they're gonna get compared to BTS. Like, you can't, like I'm not even mad at that point, because, like, literally, it's not even because they're both K-pop, it's literally because they're both boy bands. Like, if you're a boy band, you're gonna get compared to BTS in the US. So, like, if you're a K-pop boy band and you come to the US, of course you're gonna get compared to BTS. So, like, that's a lot of pressure on this album. That's a lot of pressure on US fans. And then it was just like, okay. And then, like, the way everything was done was just really weird. I'm not sure what they do in Japan. I'm not sure what they do in Korea, but I feel like they definitely need to. They need a new They need to develop like a proper strategy for. I guess I forgot what it's called, but like media training.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the U.S. is concerned, because like every interview was just so like.
It's all
Hi,
over the
we're
place.
NCT 127. We would like to wish Mickey Mouse a happy birthday. We like Mickey Mouse because we like Disney. Disney's awesome. Happy birthday, Mickey. Like, literally 2 of your members were part of Mickey Mouse Korea. Why did they not talk about that? Like, I literally had no idea why Luis Fonsi was at that theme, but he made it relevant and he made it authentic to him. He said, okay, as a kid, I had to move to this completely different place that, like, was in a whole other language and blah, 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 but Mickey Mouse was sort of like a constant factor, and that made me feel a lot more comfortable moving to this whole other place. Okay, so it makes him being there make sense. NCT is talking about everyone loves Mickey. We love Mickey. Happy birthday, Mickey. Like, what the fuck? Why didn't Jaehyun talk about being scared as shit the first time he saw a real life Mickey Mouse? Because it was like 15,000 feet tall and he was like a little kid and now he loves Mickey. Like, why did it. What could potentially be controversial about that to the point where they shouldn't say that? Like, what is controversial about, oh, it's so much fun to be able to perform for Mickey Mouse finally, because you know some of our first opportunities for performing in the public and being in the media was through the Mickey Mouse Club in Korea, so it's a really cool way for us to bring it back full circle to like perform for Mickey Mouse as an actual debuted K-pop group in the US. It's a really big honor. Like, why? What?
So here's the thing. I don't think so. Okay. I feel like anyone who had some type of knowledge or an idea of how to work PR in America would have told him to do that. However, SM, again, it's all SM's fault because they know everything, right?
Absolutely.
They're too proud to hire an outside PR firm, which is what literally every other group is doing. BTS has it. Monsta X has it. Like all these.
No, but who's that little white girl that was in like one of their photos and then like Uncitizens was going ham on Instagram? Like, what is she doing? What is she doing?
Hey,
quickly,
white girl, fix this.
there are literally so many K-pop fans and so many K-pop fans who are grown adults who are probably in PR who have been looking, analyzing, watching K-pop for so long and have been saying, oh my gosh, if DBSK could come, I wish DBSK could come and do this, or I wish 2PM could come and do this, I wish Big Bang could like come and do this, it'd be really cool if 21 could come and do this, it'd be really awesome if Super Junior could have blah 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 blah. And now there's like a whole new generation that does have opportunities to do that, and they're starting slowly but surely to branch out, but like you have stuff like this. Like, I didn't realize how, because like as it was happening, I was just happy to see them happy to like be at these events and things, because like to me personally, I wasn't paying attention to none of this if it wasn't for NCT, but like I was still happy for them since they were happy. And I didn't realize how little I was getting from it as a fan slash general viewer until that one interview that they did on the AMA red carpet. And I think it was for one of the entertainment shows, and the woman was like, okay, I guess they pulled like questions from a hat.
I didn't see that one. Or maybe I didn't. I just popped it out of my mind.
Yeah, like it wasn't big, it wasn't anything like special, but they pulled questions from a hat, so presumably the questions weren't so like screened and like catered to NCT specifically.
Was it the one where? No, that wasn't that one. I saw the one where they did the they got questions from Twitter.
No, I think that was Wired.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like on the AMA red carpet. I think it was the one where like the announcer kept like putting the microphone across Taeyong, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Okay, yeah, I did see that one.
I feel like that was one of their best interviews because like there was this one question, and it was like, "Have you ever gotten fired from a job?" And like Taeyong's like, "Oh yeah, like I got fired from like working," and it was just like something as simple as that made him so much more human. And like not necessarily relatable per se, because like not everyone gets fired or whatever, and like not even every K-pop fan works, because a lot of us are super young or we're college students or whatever. But like, oh my gosh, this is an actual human being. He wasn't actually created in the SM lab. He does have like a life outside of SM. And oh, I didn't even know SM. Wasn't even thinking about SM when they said Big Three. I was like, that's literally the furthest we know about him as like an actual entity outside of SM Entertainment.
Right.
Until that one random question of like, have you been fired before? Yeah, of course. Who cares? Whatever. I'm getting paid now. Like, that was such a fun moment.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, why aren't we trying our darndest to squeeze as many of those out of every single second of screen time?
Because, well, you know why.
Literally, SM, you really don't have to pay me this year. Next year, my price is going up. But, like, catch me while you can. Catch me if you can. But, like, literally, like, it was so... and then the Jimmy Kimmel performance
was a mess.
I mean, it was better than what they've been doing, which isn't hard, but so I wasn't like completely embarrassed. But then like I understand that like the price difference is exponential, but why was the Apple Music ad being played during their performance? During the show with like John Goodman as the main guy. Like literally no one else except NCTs and K-pop fans were watching that episode of Jimmy Kimmel. So why did you pay for an ad during that slot instead of paying for like a slot at least during like AMA red carpet or something? Like what are we doing? Like like I said, I don't actually know. So maybe it would have been too expensive, but like would it really have been too expensive?
For SM Entertainment?
Like after EXO's been on 15,000 XL you can't afford one 30-second AMA slot? Anyway, that pissed me off. And then I just like it was fun, but then at the same time it was just like, can we get a fan meet tour? Like I literally just want a tour. That's literally all I want. I want a tour. You could have just given it. You didn't even need to give us an album. You could have just given us a tour. Like, nigga, I would have been good. But okay, whatever.
That's actually...
Also, getting back to media training, getting back to, is this 2012? Y'all aren't hearing this. Davonna, how did they get a quote-unquote Latin trap to promote as a single, and they're asked Latin artists that they would like to collab with, and they say Shakira? Like, a whole bat in 20...
That was all Johnny's fault. That was all Johnny's fault.
Is this 7th grade, my nigga? You know who Johnny is? He's that fucker who every single time you get a project in any class, he's like, can we do a rap? That's who the fuck Johnny is. And every single day, he does not prove me wrong. A whole bad... Like, just imagine Bad Bunny and Taeyong in the same room for like a BuzzFeed video. That would literally be the most adorable WTF thing ever.
Yeah.
But we're talking about... Shakira needs NCT more than NCT needs Shakira.
Fighting words.
In the sense that Shakira is more concerned with like trends than like being Shakira. I have like ridiculous respect for Shakira as a singer-songwriter. So like her most recent stuff doesn't really impress me that much.
It doesn't impress me much.
Okay, but... And then NCT, on the other hand, they're not going to be the biggest K-pop group anytime soon.
Yeah.
Even if SM was playing their cards right. But, like... They do produce quality stuff. And it's of a certain quality that isn't being produced a whole lot. So there isn't a whole lot of quantity of the kind of quality that they're putting out.
Right.
So like they need to really hone in and focus in on their quality. So they need to collab with people who will bring out that quality in their stuff and will infuse that sort of quality into their stuff. So for them to be mentioning Shakira in freaking 2018 with as many sleepers as they had on freaking Regular-Irregular, like, there's no room for Shakira.
I just don't know. Like, I want... Never mind.
I want them to win more than SM wants them to win.
Exactly.
And SM insists on making it very clear that they don't particularly care. That's basically SM's attitude, as far as I see it.
Pretty much. Okay. So, this is supposed to be an hour, but it's 2 hours and 34 minutes right now.
Well...
But we talked about all of 2018 for NCT, which is actually quite a bit. It's a lot of stuff. So...
Yeah.
I think we did good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you guys for listening to... I guess we can call this Season 3, Episode 1 of Melanetizen Night Night. Technically, Season 2 is non-existent, but we're not going to talk about that.
Like the last episode of Wild Bunny.
So we do have a couple episodes of Melanetizen Night Night that have not been released, that I think are now all the way edited, going back to like 2017. So if you guys do want to hear those, I will be more than happy to finish editing and upload those. Just let me know, leave it in the comments down below. Also make sure to subscribe. Check out our podcast, the Melanetizen Podcast, on SoundCloud, iTunes, and SoundCloud and iTunes. And follow us on Twitter at BlackNetizen, at DavonnaDarling. All the links will be down below.
At Melanetizens as well.
At Melanetizens. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree, disagree. How did you feel about NCT 2018? How did you feel about the Dreamies? How did you feel about Regular-Irregular? Any thoughts about WayV coming up? Let us know everything that you think. And we'll be back with Season 3, Episode 2 soon. And I guess we'll do that once Stephanie watches WayV's debut. The debut.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Melanetizen night night. Don't sue us, Johnny.